What to bring? Hey guys, Omar here, and we're leaving for Vancouver and Banff National Park tomorrow. So I am thinking about what I want to bring and what I'm going to leave behind. So in this video, I'll show you what I maybe used to bring on a landscape type vacation and where my mind is now. Now, I used to stress so much about what lenses to bring and what camera I bring. I've definitely calmed down a lot. And what's more important to me on a trip is to kind of live in the moment, enjoy where I am, and two, be with my family. And then third, photography comes in. I've always felt like before, photography was number one, waking up super early, going out with tons of gear, and just a stress about getting photographs. So I'm gonna show you where I used to live and what I'm gonna pack on this trip. Here's the 5D Mark IV. 5D Mark IV is a wonderful camera for landscape photography. I have a loop on there. I like shooting with live view if I'm doing landscape photography. Also works for portraits, but if you have a Canon camera and haven't shot with a loop, it's really cool. I'll link it up below. But also if you're losing your eyesight, shooting with live view and a DSLR is super great. But this was my go-to for travel. I'd bring it on the street for Europe, video, everything. And it works fantastically. It's just so big. So along with this camera comes all the lenses that come with it. And my favorite travel lens, I used to have the 70 to 200 f4, which was a little smaller for vacation and for travel. But I moved on to the 2.8 since I started shooting events. But all of this lived in this bag. So mostly I'd have some kind of general lens, like a 24 to 105, the 70 to 200, and one prime lens. So usually a 35 or a 50, and all that would go around my neck. And so that is not coming on this trip. Nothing wrong with bringing a DSLR, of course. They're just heavier and bulkier, so not bringing the Canon 5D Mark IV. All right, so this is the bag I want to hold everything in. This is an old 1991 camcorder bag, and use what you got. Try to find some of your old bags. Some of these old camcorder bags are so tough. They're super thick, their zippers are good. So I always try to use older bags instead of the new stuff, which a lot of times have junkier zippers. But on the trip, I want to fill up this bag, and here's some of the stuff that's going in there. So, of course, we're bringing the Fujifilm X-T20, the original Gangsta. And I have, on the Fujifilm X-T20, I have a grip on there to make it a little easier to walk around with. The Fuji X-T20 is my go-to for quick video grabs of the family, for vlogging on there, and for just general photography. If I'm bringing one camera, it's the Fujifilm X-T20. If I want to go a little smaller, I'll take off the grip and have a nice smaller little body, especially with some of the lenses that we'll talk about in a second here. And the main camera I'll be using for landscape photography is the Fujifilm X-T2 for its weather sealing and for its better build, a little bit easier to throw around for my klutziness. On these two cameras, I'll be bringing two straps. I have the little Optech USA system. So I have a wrist strap that is right now on the Fuji X-T2, but I also have Fujifilm strap with the little Optech USA clips at the bottom. So when we're walking around Vancouver, I'll probably have this around my neck, and that's my go-to for walking around. It's a little neck strap. All right, so those are my main camera bodies. And by the way, my son is gonna be using the Fuji X-T20 a bit, which is why I have the Fuji X-T2 as well. Travel flash, if you are gonna travel with a little flash, I recommend this little Flashpoint Godox Mini. I'm not bringing it on this trip, but it is a great little flash that you can throw in a bag. It's so tiny, but we're gonna be mostly hiking daytime, and at night we're gonna be back at the hotel. So we are not bringing that guy. All right, if you're traveling with these smaller mirrorless cameras, you're gonna need a lot of batteries. I'm bringing 5 of the Fujifilm batteries. 2 of them are authentic and the others are backup or aftermarket. The aftermarket I found are fine, they work well. I do like to keep the Fujifilm ones in the cameras as much as I can, but they work, they totally work fine. I've got my Fujifilm charger. They don't include this anymore in the box, which is kind of sad. And I've got the little Apple, hack on there, so I don't have to bring a cord. That's great for travel. So that's coming with me. For memory cards, I'm a SanDisk kind of guy, so I have been using these newer SanDisk 170 megabytes per second dudes, and they've been working great. So I've got a couple of 95 megabytes per second, but if you find that your camera buffer is a little slow, you may need to upgrade your memory. So I recommend the SanDisk cards. They've been great for me in both my professional work and on vacation. So that is what I'm bringing there. Got my color checker passport. This just is so small, I bring it everywhere. But if you shoot RAW and you want to know what the real colors of things are, I always bring that guy. Okay, you're going on vacation, you need an action camera. So I would prefer to own a GoPro or some kind of DJ2 thingy. But I rarely use an action camera. So I have a cheap little Yi 4K camera that works completely great if there's enough light. As soon as it's low light, these are terrible, but it takes 4K super wide video, and it comes with a little housing. And I love this, just to throw in a bag and kind of, if we're going to the hot springs, I don't want to bring any camera. This is one of the best, not just this one, but any kind of GoPro or action camera. You should try to pick one up for vacation. I know sometimes when I don't want to bring any cameras, this one's great just to throw in a pocket. And this with your phone, you could rock that, no problem. So I love the little Yi Action Cam for its price point, and it takes great video. Okay, tripods. I have the little Manfrotto travel tripod. This guy's actually broken. One of the lower legs just comes completely off, so I can only use 3 of the sections. It doesn't bother me too much because I can shoot low to the ground. But I actually bought a 3-legged thing. Leo, I picked this guy up from B&H, opened it up. I actually started making a video for you guys, and one of the legs wouldn't lock. And he's still sagging on me. Locks. We might have a little return here. No good. So this is actually a return. Right after this video, I'm sending it back. Oh my gosh. To me, size is more important than anything, because if it's a little too big, I'm not gonna bring it. I have a fantastic aluminum Enduro tripod, which I use all the time indoors, but I never bring that anywhere because it's just too big and bulky. So this guy fits in a nice little backpack, and it's great. Now with that said, you have to make sure you remember your little plates, and this one takes an Arca Swiss plate, so I definitely have to pack that. Now I do recommend that if you put a grip on your camera that it has an Arca Swiss plate already on it, and that will prevent any kind of disasters where you forget these little plates. Okay, I also bring a little mini tripod with me, this little Manfrotto dude. This guy's great for doing kind of vloggy videos of the family, and also setting it down if you want to shoot video or a quick family photo, where if you put this on a car or a bench. So this guy is great, and it's so small, it will fit in that bag. Love that. And I love Manfrotto stuff. This is what I used to bring for landscape photography. Pistol grip Manfrotto head. Also this ball head from Manfrotto. These guys are not coming because they weigh more than the cameras I'm bringing. Now, if you're shooting mirrorless cameras, you should pick up one of these little air blasters. Your sensor's always exposed. It always has dust on it, which is a pain. So I always pack one of those. Power bricks. I try to pack the smallest power bricks I can find. And the reason is that you can charge your Fujifilm batteries and a lot of your camera batteries right in the camera. So what I'll do is I'll put one on the wall in the hotel, and then I can sort of hook up the other 2 cameras to charge all the batteries, or at least 3 of the batteries. If you have the Fuji X-T30 or 3, you can use USB-C, which is what phones usually use. If you have the Fuji X-T20 and the X-T2 have different cables. So if you have the Fuji X-T2, you have to bring a USB 3, which has this strange connector on the end. And if you have the Fuji X-T20 and you want to charge that, it has the USB 2, which is very common. Older phones use to charge. So I bring those cables so I can charge in camera. It's a good way, unless you have multiple chargers, it's a good way to charge your batteries in the hotel room. Okay, not bad. All that's going so far. 2 cameras, 3 cameras, nice. All right, lens choice. This depends on the kind of trip you're taking. So I'm doing landscape photography when we go to Banff National Park, but we're also visiting the beautiful city of Vancouver for the first time. So I'm not bringing all these lenses. So these are the ones that I won't bring. Number 1 is my manual focus Zonlai 22 milliliters. My 22 millimeter, I love this lens. It's totally fun to walk around with, but more, I'm not a fan of manually focusing on vacation, so that is not coming. 2, the Rokinon 12 millimeter f2. This is a great lens because it goes to f2. It's also a manual focus lens. The Zonlai is more a general street lens, which is kind of, you're focusing all the time. The Rokinon I would bring because for landscapes, manual focus is kind of what you want to do anyway. However, I am bringing a lens that will cover this range. And I find that I'm using that lens less because of this one. The 10 to 24 Fujifilm lens is a great travel lens. It's going to be great for landscapes, for wide landscape scenes. It's also great for video, and this is what I'll be shooting my videos with. Now with that lens, I picked up this 3 filter kit. One of the filters I'm not going to use, the UV filter, but it has a polarizer on there, which is great for landscape photography, and also an ND filter if you want to slow down your shutter speeds or shoot video in bright sunlight. So that is a cool little kit I picked up. So 10 to 24 is coming. The 18 to 55 millimeter is coming. Now this one is similar to the 10 to 24, but again, this is such a general great lens that I have to bring that. The 16 millimeter 1.4. Am I bringing it? Should I bring it? Should I bring it? I don't know. The 16. I don't know if I want to bring this. I'm thinking about it right now. For weight savings, I think I may leave the 16 millimeter behind. I find that I probably wouldn't take this guy out on a general first time in Vancouver. I'll probably be rocking the 35 millimeter f2 more than anything. That fits my style a little bit more. And if that breaks your heart, I did a whole video on how the 16 millimeter is a fantastic lens that's really hard to use, and it is heavy. So I think trying to keep everything in this camera bag, I think I'm gonna leave it behind. No, I can hear some of you screaming over there. No, bring it. Now the reason that I am leaving it behind is because I want some of the weight to go to my 56 millimeter 1.2. This is just beautiful. It's a little bit more of a zoom. It gives me just that great 1.2 bokeh if I want stuff just with a little bit of shallow depth of field. So the 56 millimeter is coming on the trip. Yeah. And last but not least, if I'm bringing just the Fuji X-T20 out with us, my favorite lens to slap on there is the 27 millimeter f2.8. And those of you that are trying to make your camera even lighter for travel, I highly recommend this lens as a general lens. It's about a 40 millimeter equivalent, so it works really well. It's not too wide, it's not too zoomy. So this is a great lens if I want to shoot with the X-T20 and kind of have that Fujifilm X100 feeling, street photography. Love that. All right. Will all this fit in that bag? Let's see. Booyah! All right, most of it did. The only things that I didn't put in there, because they're going to stay behind in the hotel room, is the little puffer air, all the cables, the cleaning cloth will fit in there, and the charger. Of course, I'll bring the memory cards and the plate. So the cameras are both in there. The lenses are all in there. There's 2 cameras in there. And this guy can come with me to Banff National Park, and I could do landscape photography with this. Also walk around Vancouver with just this one bag, totally fine. Although when I walk around a city, I like to just have one camera and one lens usually. So that's that. Okay, what else will I bring? I like to pack a second bag, sort of like a day bag if we're not going somewhere where I need everything. I like my little camcorder. This was another little mini camcorder bag. This is like an old low pro video for a smaller camcorder bag, but I like to have one tiny bag, you know, where we're just walking around town. My little man purse right there. Love it, love it. Oops, my microphone came off. Other things that are in the hotel room, hard drives. So you should probably have a little backup of all your images. And last but not least, this was kind of the dilemma. Should I bring my Sony camera? Now, those of you that know, I shoot mostly Fujifilm because of its size. For me, for travel, for fun, for smallness. Should I bring it or not? My original feeling was not. Those of you new here, I shoot mostly Canon and Sony for my professional work. I find that I love the size, the battery life, eye detection is fantastic, colors, everything works great with my Canon and Sony dual system. However, you can't beat the size and the JPEG quality of the Fujifilm stuff, so that's why I love all this small stuff for travel. However, I am going to bring the Sony a7 III for a couple of reasons. Number one, you could shoot the whole day pretty much with one battery. These batteries are crazy good. The Z battery on the Sony a7 III, just amazing. I don't have to bring 5 batteries. I could just bring one if we're going out somewhere. So that's number one. Number two, this Tamron lens has been fabulous for work. So I want to test it out on vacation. It's a great all-around lens. It shoots super sharp, super great contrast and colors, and it gets really close. You can actually do, you know, pseudo macro with it, which I love. And 3, this camera does great video, great 4K video, and overall just a good, fantastic camera that so far has just been working. So I think I want to give it a little R&R. So that's pretty much it. I'm excited to go to Banff. Let me know if any of you have been there before. Give me some suggestions of what to see in Vancouver or in Banff. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. All right, see ya.